Three, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Boss Shot Shells and Shin Gear. By gosh, the two best in the industry at what they do. I am Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
I'm here. I don't know if I'm the best at what I do, but I'm here.
Let me tell you the story about how our morning has gone, how Andy's morning has gone. My morning hasn't went bad. I'm fixing to leave to go to a judges conference, so me and Michelle are fixing to go to the island for a week. And so it's going to be nice. Other than we're about an hour behind on our delay of leaving because Lou decided to shit all over Andy's house for the second time in a year now. Didn't he do this about a year ago?
I don't think so. Did he?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yes, he did. You had to
he
throw
threw up during hunting season. So I poured a patio like 2 years ago. I'm finally getting around to putting a cover over it. And I've been working in the backyard. Well, the lumber is around the front yard, so I just leave the gate open, and I'd walk back and forth, get my lumber, do all that good stuff.
And you leave the gate open.
And I leave the gate open. I've been doing this for a couple days now. Lou he normally lays down in the grass, and he enjoys my company, being out in the backyard with him. Normally his domain, I'm making it my domain. And Saturday, I got busy, and I wasn't paying attention, I guess, and look up, and Lou's gone. For 4 days, I've been back there. It hadn't been a problem. Never has once tried to leave the gate. Saturday, he did. He comes back about an hour later, hot, of course, and so then, yesterday's fine, and then last night rolls around. Jameson's allergies were messing with him, so he's already in bed with me. My wife is out of town. She's having a girls' night with her mom. They're getting massages and stuff, living it up in the great city of Lubbock. And then about midnight, Reese comes in, and Lou runs to the back door. I'm thinking, what the? Go lay down, Lou. Quit being a dick. And put him in the living room. He goes to the living room, and I hear him just clomping around, laying down, getting up, clomping around. He's very aggressive about this. And then all of a sudden, I start hearing him aggressively whine. I'm like, okay, he's got a shit. So let him outside. He runs. He bolts into the backyard. Does the swirl, the shit swirl that dogs do, and then he shits his guts out everywhere. So I'm like, yeah, that's what you get, motherfucker, for running off. There's no telling what you got into on Saturday when you were out gallivanting around town, and it's got your stomach fucked up. So I leave him out there maybe 30 minutes, bring him back inside about 12:30. He goes immediately to his bed, lays down. I'm thinking, okay, he's good. Boy, was I wrong. I wake up 6:45. Normal day. I'm going to have my coffee. It's going to be great. Maybe watch Winning Time before I got to get the kids up. And open the door, and Lou is right by the door when I open it. That is not a good sign, because most of the time whenever I go in there, he's laying in his bed like, what the fuck are you doing in here this early? He's by the door. He's up immediately. I thought, ooh, this is not good. Well, I didn't have to look very far, and there were shit piles everywhere. I thought, motherfucker.
You know what would happen to Ollie if he did that?
Same thing happened to Lou?
No, your mom would make me get rid of him.
No.
She wouldn't let him in the house again.
Oh, no.
I think you're wrong.
So take him outside. Well, if he doesn't have shit now, he shed shit however long ago, an hour ago. Yeah, I think it was fairly recent because it was still pliable. It hadn't stiffened up. So I think I missed it by like an hour.
That's
maybe.
Nasty. God almighty, there's nothing worse than a dog shitting in the house.
Get Jesse's dustpan, rip up an old cardboard box, and I just kind of scoop everything into the dustpan.
Did you get the dry heaves?
Luckily, my nose is still fucked up from COVID, so it wasn't as putrid as it could have been. But yes, there were a couple times I had my shirt over my nose like this.
That's the worst in the world.
And then Jesse's got this fancy fucking mop vacuum type thing. I don't know how to work that, so had to go to YouTube, figure out how the fuck to do that. And I had to add chemical and add water but
what happened to good old fashioned just mop bucket?
Well.
Like the girls use that here that work here.
Yeah, no, we don't.
Y'all got the Swiffer deal?
It's more fancy than a Swiffer.
And you push a button and
you push a button and water comes out.
That's what Mom's got too.
Sucks up and mops and vacuums all at the same time. That water's pretty fucking disgusting.
Do y'all still have what's it called thingy?
The
Zoom Vroom?
Yeah, the Roomba?
Yeah.
Of course we do, Jeff.
You know, we've got one at our house that is not even plugged in anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We don't even use it ever. Mom had to have it. Our problem is we've got a big rug.
Yeah.
That big rug in our living room, it's too tall for it.
So I did all that, scooped it all into the dustpan, got paper towels and did the old wax on, wax off with it. Finally figured out how to work out the mop. And then I think my house is shit free now. Lou is still out in the backyard. Fuck him.
So now you got to go home and mop again before Jesse gets her and make it smell good.
I added another Cincy, Jeff. We're good.
I'm telling you right now, if Ollie had an episode like that would be into him in the house. Your
Well,
mom is anti-pet anyways. And
Here's
damn sure
the
don't
deal.
want it. Ollie's the only one that's ever been in the house.
As Ollie ages, he's probably going to run into something like this.
Well, me and him probably both be kicked out then.
I mean, it's just going to happen.
Ollie has never, ever made a knock on wood there, made a mess in the house. Chewed nothing, done it. He's been the perfect pet.
Oh, and then
The
Reese
perfect
yesterday, we got those little tuna packets for lunch. You know, you can add mayonnaise and relish, and it's got Reese loves them. Reese didn't throw it away, so there was fucking a tuna wrapper just ripped up all over the place. That might have been why Lou was at the door. So I had to clean up that also, and I had to get Reese ready for school.
How'd that work out?
It was fine.
He hates school too.
No, he doesn't hate it.
He told me he hates it.
All kids do. All kids. He's 7. What kid likes school at 7 years old?
No, I don't blame you.
They suck the life right out of you. The food's terrible. You don't really learn much.
See,
at that age, you do.
You know
he's learning to read.
The food problem is your boys are spoiled.
Well, yeah.
I liked food at school because we were hungry because we didn't have a ton of snacks at our house. We had supper.
You've eaten up there recently.
No, I don't ever eat when I go
Well,
up
there
there.
you go. Why not?
Watch, it looks horrible. Well, it's because I'm spoiled now. I can afford to eat what I want.
I liked the cafeteria food.
You do now, or you did when you were?
I did. I've not eaten up there since I graduated.
You're the only one of our boys that Mom didn't take lunch to every day in high school.
I didn't know it was an option. I didn't know that phenomena occurred whenever I was out. But I liked they had good steak fingers, they had pizza, I wasn't a fan of the soy burgers, but yeah, most of the food I didn't have a problem with. Plus, we had athletics. When did we have athletics?
Y'all had that 0 period.
No, we didn't. That was Zach. I think we had athletics.
You had it at lunchtime?
We had athletics right before lunch.
Yeah, and then
So we were always fucking hungry. We were a winning organization back in those days, Jeff. So
y'all were.
We worked out hard. So when we got to lunch, we're like, fuck yeah. Pound some sweet tea and eat some of this.
Speaking of soy burgers.
Carb load.
I ate at Whataburger the other day.
Yes.
Absolutely disappointed.
That's terrible.
It is. And it used to really, really, really be good. But when the Yankees bought it.
What was wrong with everything?
It's just not a Whataburger. Whataburger used to be, especially when I grew up, and even when you boys were growing up, it came in a waxy type paper.
You know who does that?
Who?
In-N-Out.
I don't like In-N-Out, so I'm not an In-N-Out fan. But it's not. It used to be a real Texas, any place, not just Texas, just a real greasy hamburger, cheeseburger, where it was all melted. The meat and cheese were all melted together as one. Mm-hmm. And the bread was good. Now the bread, it falls apart because it's frozen.
Oh, right.
You
can tell.
Just thought, it's just not fresh bread no more. And Whataburger just is not the Whataburger it used to be. And I'm sure I'm going to get some hate mail on this, and that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can handle that. But I love Whataburger, but Whataburger is not what it used to be. You used to go to any Whataburger, and you got the same fresh cheeseburger everywhere you went. And it's just not that way no more. And it just wasn't very good. And I was really, I mean, it was, and the last couple of times I've had them, I thought, just this or that. But it's just not, since they got bought by a big conglomerate, they're not the same quality they used to have.
Before my life went to shit this morning, I made some of the best hamburgers I've ever made last night. They were fucking delicious. I got everything done early. I was waiting on the rain that you ran away, and they were delicious. The best I've ever done. I followed the In-N-Out recipe. Oh,
I don't think In-N-Out's not that good.
When I say that, I toasted my buns, put a little bit of butter on top. Fucking
well, that part I understand.
Restaurant quality, Jeff.
Fresh bread.
Restaurant quality. Of course.
That's one of the big keys. That's a key
fresh,
on any,
never frozen.
That's a key on any sandwich, though. Yeah, but I think these big places like that, they don't get fresh bread every day.
Have you seen Anthony Bourdain raving about In-N-Out Burger?
No.
Oh, Jeff.
I've had an In-N-Out burger. It's nothing great. It's not a bad hamburger, but it's nothing great.
I'm not going to pull it up, or I'll pull it up for you to see, but I'm not going to put it on
I'm going to give a free shout out.
We did get demonetized whenever I talked about Bernie Mac.
There's a place in Wichita Falls called Scotch Drive-In on Old Jacksboro Highway, and it used to have the best cheeseburgers in the world. That and Gene's Tasty Burger in Wichita. So I think the Pat's Drive. There's a couple places in Wichita that had good old-fashioned hamburgers, and they probably still do.
You know, I never was a fan of him when he was alive.
Anthony Bourdain's a great guy. He was a cool dude.
We don't have those in New York. In fact, every once in a while, some cool person starts a rumor.
But he talks about what makes it so good.
I'll scoop. That In-N-Out is coming to Brooklyn or to one of the boroughs, and everybody in New York goes insane.
Where is it? Okay, here we go. This is the proper anatomy of a cheeseburger.
If I simply take an isolated photograph of my In-N-Out burger sitting on a table, an anonymous In-N-Out burger, I'll get like 50,000 likes.
See there? That's the power of. So here it is. Wax paper.
There are many forces at play with a properly made burger. You got to have a decent bun, right?
Strike one against Whataburger.
They used to have them, but they don't no more.
The paper adds to the flavor.
Well, they have that.
Also, that would be nice. Non-limp, reasonably fresh greens and garnishes, also good. Cheese, you don't want fancy cheese. You don't want,
That's right. Just American cheese.
Whatever that is. This cheese-like stuff is perfect. But notice it's two thin patties together. Okay, maximum surface area, therefore exposing meat.
But see how it's all meshed together in one glutinous spot?
It's
That's what makes a cheeseburger. All right.
And I don't know if you have any, are there any more, dive cheeseburger places?
Yeah.
Where?
Every town has them. You just don't. That's what I said. Scott's Drive-In in Wichita Falls. Gene's Tasty Burger. Yeah, in Wichita Falls. I think the Glass Kitchen or Pat's one of them. There used to be a place in Wichita Falls called Sack of Burgers when I was a kid. Everything is better when you were a kid. It's just because your memory, you forget how shitty things are at times. It's like a dead dog.
It's like the 70s.
A dead dog gets better as he ages. Like Lou is a good dog now, but 10, 15 years from now when Lou's gone, Lou will be the greatest son of a bitch. You would be surprised he didn't just walk on the water. I mean,
be careful, Jeff, because I did just clean up all of his shit. So he's not too high.
Okay, but
up there right now.
So, but they used to have a place called Sack of Burgers. You paid $5 and you got a sack of hamburgers, and they were good. They were good old greasy cheeseburgers. Yeah, every town has a place like that, but we don't talk about them because it's all big franchise places. But those places are swamped all the time. There's a place in Fort Worth. I think it's McCain's or McLean's. It's down by the where we used to do the hunting show. We'd go there sometimes. An old grocery store.
Right.
And I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, it was a hamburger joint. I think it's on Camp Bowie, maybe in Fort Worth. But every place, there's places like that. Dallas is a place. I can't think of the name of it, too. I've been to. It's really good. But those places are really good. I tell you what, I did go to me and Mom made that grilled cheese place, grilled cheese factory in Dallas over by SMU, and it was really good.
When did the frozen patty, the preformed frozen patty, when did that come around? Because I think
that's killed hamburger joints.
When all these places, like even McDonald's back in the day, I think it was like a fresh hamburger that you at least got like fresh hamburger meat that they rolled and stomped out. And
I ate
because like if you just get that little preformed patty that comes in a box and you just fucking throw that on the thing, it's gonna be terrible. It's awful. It's not a hamburger.
I ate at McDonald's a couple weeks ago. I'll tell you what it was. I tried Storm the other day, and I stopped at McDonald's, and I got a Big Mac, and I disassembled it.
Uh-huh.
And so I'd only had the middle piece of bread. It's the only piece of bread I had, and I had the 2 hamburgers. And that's all I had was I looked at them things. Them patties on them things, you wouldn't give a kindergartner the patties that's on a Big Mac.
Yeah. I don't get White Castle. I've tried it before.
We ate it in St. Louis.
Not a fan.
A lot of onions.
I'm not a fan.
I didn't think they were real bad because it was melted cheese, meat, and onions. They just way too many onions on them.
So where are you putting? You're putting In-N-Out above Whataburger now?
No, I think they're
Culver's for sure.
Culver's is better than both of them. I think now. I mean, In-N-Out's good. I used to really be a Whataburger. The old Whataburger.
The Whataburger is down to 3 or 4 for you.
Probably at least. It's ahead of McDonald's by a long ways. I'm going to put Brahms number 1. Brahms has a good hamburger.
Brahms has a good hamburger, but In-N-Out's better.
I'm going to put In-N-Out number 2. Wendy's has a good hamburger last time I had one. I don't eat much stuff like that no more because I can't eat nothing but a small one.
Yeah.
So I don't really get to enjoy that. Laguna Bob Ceviche's number 1. I'm going to have that some bitch tomorrow.
Ceviche?
Uh-huh. Laguna Bob's on South Padre Island. They got the best ceviche in the world.
There you go. I'll tell you what. So I've not been watching the news very much. Too depressing. But I have been made aware of the Ministry of Truth.
Are we in a Harry Potter movie now?
Scary is what it is. I mean, when it first happened, I kind of chuckled like, okay, this is great. But like the more you think about it, who's going to decide what truth is?
The Democratic Party.
So if you put on your social media platform that a man cannot be a woman, no matter the sex operation that they undertake, that your gender is based on your chromosomal XX or XY, are you going to get arrested for that? Because they're the party that says, no, anybody can be a woman. Or what about if you say that gas prices are because he killed the Keystone Pipeline, and they say, no, it's because of the crisis that's going on in the Ukraine? Is that something that's going to be, is that something you're going to get arrested for? Or what if you say that there was voter fraud? What if you say that the election might have been stolen from Donald Trump, and you put this on your social media? Are they going to come knocking down your doors?
So you basically have said 3 truths, and they're all going to be spun by the Democratic Party as false. So yes. Are we 100% that it's true, or is it something that should be talked about? Because here's the thing with freedom of speech. I don't know what's true, and you don't know what's true. But the only way that we can get to the truth is to have a discussion, is to have a debate, to look at the evidence. Well, but if they're just saying, no, this is what's happened, this is what the truth is, and if you say otherwise, you're going to get arrested. This is a fucking, it's not just like a little slap on the wrist fine type of deal. This is an extension of the Department of Justice. They're
going to arrest people for this.
Let's dissect this a minute. The first thing you said, do you think there's any falsehood about you can only be a man or a woman?
No, I think it's based on what your chromosomes are.
So basically, common sense.
If you're XX, you're a woman. You're XY, you're a man. So forever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your genitalia.
Common sense.
I would think so.
Did you see? Well, while we're on this subject, did you see where Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's son, who they've raised to be a daughter because he's transgender, he knew that at 3 years old or something,
right,
is dating another transgender that was born a girl who thinks he's a man. She's a man. So it's the same fucking deal. They're dating someone of the opposite sex,
right,
but they're both transgenders. Fucked up kids with too much money is what this is.
Yes.
But you're right. You cannot change who you are. So that's the first one, right? So me and you agree on that. So if that's the Ministry of Truth or whatever these fucking Democrats come out with, them goofy fuckers.
But they all say that, no, a woman can be anything. The new Supreme Court justice says, I cannot give an accurate definition of what a woman is.
That's the biggest bunch of shit ever.
A woman can be anything according to the people in charge right now.
What they've done is they've spun, she can do anything she wants to do with her life, but she can't have a penis and she can't make sperm.
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, the second thing.
But are you going to get arrested for this?
If
I put on Twitter right now, a man is an XX and a woman is an XY, no matter your genitalia, you're a woman and you're a man. and the Ministry of Truth is going to come knocking on my door.
The Ministry of Truth is not going to last very long in this country.
I bet it fucking does.
I
I bet it's going to last another 2 years until 2024.
I don't think there's going to be any. I think the Democrats keep trying to
Who's going to stop them?
they're losing their own quickly. I think that they're eating their own. Okay, what was the second part you talked about?
Gas prices.
Gas prices. The gas prices were already where they are now before the fucking Ukraine deal ever happened.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with
But
Ukraine.
Biden keeps coming up there and saying that this. But I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but you can show. They've got a chart that shows when gas and inflation had nothing to do with Ukraine. So another falsehood propagated by the Democratic Party. The third thing is, and we can argue about this and debate all day long, we're never going to get the truth of the election. This 2000 Mules movie's fixing to come out, and it's going to show a bunch of this shit. They cheated to win the election. Everybody knows it. And now Dr. Birx or Fauci and Bill Gates or some of them keep saying, now we're fixing to have another big pandemic this late summer. Why? Because they want to lock everybody up so they can do mail-in voting because they can't win the midterms.
Well, what about that? So 2 years ago, when COVID broke out, if you put on any social media platform that this was invented in a lab and that this was man-made, it got taken down immediately, or it had the COVID disclaimer.
But it's true.
Now, 2 years later, we're starting to find out that, hey, maybe this thing really did come from a lab. Maybe China did unleash this.
Oh, I don't think it was just China.
Maybe this is a man-made virus.
It is a man-made virus.
That's common knowledge now.
Yes.
But 2 years ago, had the Ministry of Truth been enacted, everybody that put that this was a man-made virus would have been fucking locked up. But now, 2 years removed, we're 2 years into the future, that's common knowledge. So what do they do with all the people that they arrested 2 years ago?
I don't think they arrested anybody.
They've not arrested anybody yet. They just started last week.
Yeah, it's funny how Musk bought Twitter.
Somebody told me that that's what the Ministry of Truth is all about.
Bingo. It is. It come out right after that because he all of a sudden is like, oh, shit. Right. We can start talking about what actually is the truth. Now, Jack, whatever the fuck his name is, the dipshit that's come up with Twitter.
Jack
Dorsey, maybe?
Yes, Jack Dorsey.
Has come out and said, well, we did suppress
of course they did.
The Hunter Biden deal, and we did do this, we did that. Yeah, you affected a whole fucking election because 20% of the people that voted for fucking Biden are too fucking stupid to pay attention to anything and look around. That's like, I saw a tweet today where...
he says it was a total mistake.
Yes. Now, no, I'll tell you what I saw a tweet today. It was about Warren Buffett. Mm-hmm. Warren Buffett invested a bunch of money today in Chevron, I believe, oil. Mm-hmm. Well, and stock tip right now, buy silver. It's down to $22 an ounce, too.
Why is it going down?
I don't know, but I'm going to buy some more of it. I think it's a good buy. If Warren Buffett bought into Chevron and people go, that's ridiculous. I thought he was all about green energy and New World. No, he's about making fucking money is what he does.
Same as Al Gore.
Yeah, as every other fucking person that's got money, it's all about money. That's why he's investing with Chevron. First of all, just because you drive an electric car, don't kid yourself that you're fucking living in a green world because that car is made of plastic and that's all made by petroleum
and the
products.
lithium batteries.
And the battery. Yeah. Don't fucking wake the fuck up. Just because you drive a Tesla.
You're trading one horror for
that's
another.
Right. It's the same shit a different way. If you think your ass is
what
going
about
to
your
get
fucking
somewhere.
What about your iPhone? What about your iPhone?
They don't ever think about that.
That you just love.
They don't
fucking somebody's making overseas for a nickel a day.
That's right. They don't think about that. But unless you're fucking walking everywhere and you're wearing a fig leaf for fucking underwear, don't preach to anybody else about shit like that. That's like them animal activists. They fucking got on a pair of leather shoes and you're going to bitch at people about killing animals?
Yeah.
Well, you're wearing leather.
So I read the Gulag Archipelago. Fascinating book. It's a tragedy. It's a tragic story about what happened in Russia. Did you know that it was illegal for you to say that there was a food shortage in Russia in the 1930s? They would come lock you up. It was illegal for you to say that there was a food shortage and that you couldn't get enough food to feed your family. They would come and they would put you in the fucking gulag for it. Sounds a little bit like the Ministry of Truth.
Yep. Except the problem is they're dealing with people that's had freedoms forever. And outside of kids under the age of 20, most people over the age of 20 know what it's like. And so I think that they're going to have a big. It's just not going to fly in America. They're going to
say
try
that.
it. It's not going
You
to try.
say that. I'm sure that they didn't think it would fly in Russia either.
It ain't going to happen in Knox County. It may happen in fucking liberal New York or San Francisco. Them fucking idiots in San Francisco turn themselves in for shit. They're dumbasses.
The guy that wrote the book, he got arrested, so he was on the front lines, and he wrote a letter to a friend criticizing their level of preparedness. The Russians intercepted the letter. He was in a political prisoner. But, I mean, you don't get to the truth without talking about things. And if you're going to get arrested for talking about things, it's just, we're no different than the Soviets in the 1930s. And it's scary. It's scary to think. When it first happened, I just kind of chuckled, like, fucking Ministry of Truth, another inflated, more government overreach is all I thought. And then I got thinking, like, this is not just some ticky-tacky, you're going to get a fine if you say something we don't agree with. This is, we're going to arrest you. They're an arm of the Defense Department.
Can you imagine they get this stuff working, and then when the Republicans win, if we have a fair election in 2024, the Republicans are going to own everything. Boy, then the whining to be done when NBC, ABC, and CBS have to start fucking going by the real truth that the Republicans want to talk about, which both sides are both fucked up. I believe that. I really do. But they damn sure ain't going to like it if Trump and them are running the Ministry of Truth.
DHS, I'm sorry, Department of Homeland Security, not
which
I don't know how all that shit ties together, but it is a DHS organization.
I watched a really cool documentary on the Playboy magazine. Hugh Hefner was a genius for his times. The shit he came up with, they were going to call Playboy magazine was going to be called The Stag. Was the name of it, but there was something Stag something already out, and they were going to sue him, so they come up with Playboy. They got the name Playboy. You know where that name came from?
No.
They had a guy that was one of his investors and the original investors in it. His mother worked for a car company called Playboy Car Company that went out of business.
Really?
And that's where they come up with the name Playboy.
Just an old Playboy.
But it was it's a phenomenal story. I mean, it really, he came up with so many times. He wrote an article in college. He was the editor of a newspaper, and he had the co-ed of the month, and which became the Playmate of the month. And their first person they had in their magazine was Marilyn Monroe, and she had posed in Chicago, and he had $1,000 left in his budget, and he went to get Marilyn Monroe. He paid $500 for her paper.
Really?
For her picture.
$500. Is it like the infamous picture?
It's the infamous picture of her, kind of a red glossy picture.
Right.
Anyways, that was the first Playboy. That was their first centerfold magazine covers a picture of her though, and that was their first one. And they sold like 6,000 copies of their first issue. And then the next issue came out with, and he didn't even put his name on it or anything because he thought it was going to be a one magazine deal and that'd be the end of it.
Right.
They did a second one and they sold 3,000 more than they did the first one, and it just started taking off after that. But when he first done this, he was a married guy at home and had a family, and he started working longer and staying at the office, and then he met a guy who was a real Playboy, and he hung out with him and started bar hopping and doing all the stuff that guy was doing, and that's basically where how Playboy come around. But it was a very interesting how it all personified down to stuff.
Let me see. So he was married. He's only married 3 times.
Yep.
He's had a bunch of partners.
Yep.
So. I have seen that it was hell on earth in the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, I think it was
for those girls.
Yes, it was.
A lot of drugs, a lot of Quaaludes back in the day, but what can you really expect? If you're staying in the Playboy Mansion, if you've got your own room there,
you're a sex mule.
You're not. Rent's gonna come due sometime, lady.
Yep.
Like, don't be surprised when you get a knocking on your door, 1:30 at night. Somebody's all fucking coked up with a heart on. Hey,
the whole thing was done. that whole Playboy Mansion deal come around. I hadn't got to that part of the deal. I only watched the first part of it, but it was Those girls were basically nothing more than fun times for everybody else.
Right.
And they used them that way, and they got them hung up. They got them on drugs, and there'll never be another time like that.
Pimped them out.
Could you imagine today if that was going on?
Well, no. Well, I mean, it kind of is. Dan Bilzerian's kind of doing something like that. But I don't
Dan
know.
Bilzerian isn't.
He's got fucking girls all around him all the time.
Well, yeah, but is he getting them strung out on drugs or stuff? They there wantonly, or are they trying to get in a magazine?
Don't get me lying, Jeff. I don't know anything about the inner workings of that. But,
but
I see his Instagram.
Is he exploiting them? That's
I
a
don't
yes.
know. Jeff, I don't
such a
know.
pussy.
I don't know if he is or not, Jeff. I have no idea.
What's his IG? I'm gonna look it up.
Dan Bilzerian?
Yeah.
It's just Dan Bilzerian.
I don't think I have him on.
Well, I don't either, Jeff, but there's times that
You just look at it to see.
shit comes up.
Dan Bell.
Dan Bilzerian. I mean, he's a playboy, Jeff. He is the modern day.
Dan Bilzerian got a blue check mark next to him.
Well, of course he
Ooh,
does.
hello, honey.
There he is. All roided up. Maybe he's monogamous right now. Well, no, he's not. Look at all the girls he's got right there on the boat.
Oh, you're looking at the same thing I am.
They're everywhere. Guns, titties, and fireworks.
Well, God bless him. That's what makes America great.
And a lot of roids.
So, what did he? How did he make his money? Inherit it?
Well, that's where it gets interesting. Because a lot of people, he claims that he won it all in a poker match.
He had to put up a bunch of money to win a bunch of money.
A lot of people say that his dad, he's just a trust fund baby.
God bless him. That's what I wish I would have been.
So,
How old is he?
he's probably my age, maybe a little bit younger.
He looks a little grayer than you, Andy.
Jeff, he does a lot of cocaine.
He does do cocaine, or you don't? You're speaking pretty highly openly about that.
I think it.
What's that picture on the right bottom right there on the right down one?
Down another one?
No, that one right there.
Cannabis.
And
Oh, no, it's not. I don't know what that is. Just money. It's just money. That's all it is.
Those are $10,000 stacks, or
Nope.
$5,000 stacks.
Are they?
Yes, I think it's 5,000. Yeah, those purple ones are 5,000.
Oh, have you ever seen one, Jeff?
Yeah, a couple of times.
What are the coins? Quarters? Or
I don't
is that
have a fucking clue. That might be some gold pieces. But anyways, those are $5,000 stacks. Those are $50,000 stacks of money right there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Might
6,
be
7.
what he fucking.
That's probably $1.5 million behind him on that counter.
He puts a. He gambles a lot, but
What a freaking life! Gambles, half naked chicks all over, and
he trained to be a Navy SEAL, but he washed out. He said he.
now see, what are those stacks? Are those 10s, or is those 5s? It's $20,000.
Those are
stacks.
10s.
Those are 10,000s.
Yeah, right. Well, fuck.
You can see better
I
than I
hate
can.
this
man.
fucking thing. That's it.
Okay,
God
the,
damn it.
The purple ones are 5s, and that's $10,000 stacks. That's $10,000. So that's $100,000 right there. Won't wad it up. That's $200,000, $300,000 right there, and some whatever the hell that shit is, Alistair, whatever the hell that is.
But that's his life. Private jets, and that's his cat.
So, do you think these women here? Do you think?
I think they're using Dan Bilzerian to be
to travel and fun and have fun.
Yeah.
So God bless them too.
Okay, but
If I look like that blonde right there, that's what I'd be doing.
you'd be whoring yourself out.
Hell yeah, wouldn't you?
I don't know, Jeff.
You would not be trying. Now, here's the thing.
I gotta fucking.
She's a good-looking lady.
I gotta live with myself.
Okay, yeah. Men and women think different.
Listen, you gotta suck somebody's dick, so might as well be his.
No, but
I'm going to Fiji.
that girl right there, any of them girls are 10s.
Mm-hmm.
They could find some geeky dude like Mark Zuckerberg.
Have
and
you
be
seen
set for
his
life.
wife?
She's not very pretty.
Oh my God, horrible, terrible.
Let me ask you, if you're single, would she be your sugar mama? Would you let her?
No.
No?
Zuckerberg's wife? No. Money.
So you would not be motivated if you were a single guy, no kids and single. You wouldn't sleep with her, and she was your sugar mama. So you couldn't be like these girls then.
No, I could not.
So you'd expect your sugar mama to be looking like one of these chicks. Okay, that ain't gonna happen then.
Look at that posse he's rolling around with. Just smoking a doobie. 6 girls behind him, 7 girls behind him. I forgot about Ugly Alice back there.
Do you think Ugly Alice, the 6th girl, feels left out?
7.
Or do you think she's just
fuck,
happy
there's
to be
more than that. Hold on. There's 1, there's 2, 3, 4. That's a set of legs.
9 of them.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay. Do you think the 9th woman feels slighted?
This one, yeah, she don't have fucking hair on her head. I think that's a he's got to be careful. He needs to check the plumbing.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking myself. Look, a little hairy on the chest there too. But do you think the 9th chick feels left out, or do you think she feels like she's got a good gig going?
She's got to, like, listen, yeah. If I'm batting 9th, he's probably going to be tuckered out by the time he gets to me.
Do you think he's got a bunch of fanboys that go with him everywhere?
Would you? I wouldn't.
No, your mom would not enjoy me doing that.
I wouldn't have anybody. It'd be me, my best pal, and 20 other chicks.
That's a little overkill on my part.
He talked about how many times he had sex in a day, and it's a lot, like 15 maybe.
Yeah,
it'd just be dust.
As he gets older, he's not gonna be like that. He's gonna I'll take 7 of my buddies and 3 girls.
Yeah.
I don't. Do you think he's missing something in life?
Yes.
Do you think he would trade you?
No.
I think so.
I mean, he's had opportunities to get married before.
No. I'm talking about, I think guys like that really, really, really are jealous of people like you that have a family and a wife and kids. And
they are, but I don't think that it's built in them. He's just feeding a bear. Just fucking Saturday.
That's cool.
No big deal. But I think it's one of those things that they know that they're missing something, but the way that they're living, they're not willing to do what it takes to.
There's some guy listening to this.
Have a life.
His wife, he just left the house to run to the store because she forgot something. She's bitching at him. He's thinking, "Fuck that! I'd trade with him in a heartbeat."
Yeah, but here's the deal. You only got 1 woman to piss off. He's got 17.
But he don't give a shit if 16 gets mad. He'll just get another one. How do you get a girl to do that is what's funny.
Dan Bilzerian entered the 2009 World Series Poker and finished 180th. Dan says that he won over $10 million in a single private poker game and over $50 million in a single game.
But if he won $10 million in a game, he had to put up a bunch of money to even win that much money. I mean, there's not like someone's going to say, okay, I'm all in for $10 million. Okay, I call. Well, what do you got? Well, I got $32,000. Well, that ain't fucking going to do that shit. So he had to have some money before. So his parents have some money, I guess.
I think his parents.
He's worth $200 million. I know a couple of guys that are worth $200 million, and they do not live like that.
They're not living like that.
No, not at all. Now, I would rather live the way they do than him. Now, I'm older now. But even, I mean, yeah, boy, I'm not, yeah, 22 years old, that'd be a fun life. But
he was born in 1980, so he's older than me.
Yeah, he's 42 years old.
He said he gambled so much, and I guess he was doing cocaine and stuff. But I think he gambled like 3 days straight and just was hitting cocaine and Red Bull, and he had to get his heart like restarted or some bullshit. I think I remember. This is a couple years ago. In addition to playing poker and becoming a stuntman, an enormous amount of wealth, lump sum by his father. So he basically put up his inheritance and I guess he won. I don't know.
Oh, good for him.
The true story. But I don't know what his dad did. I think his dad was into something fugazi. But
well, anyways, he's living a good life. He's enjoying his life.
Oh, yeah, he is.
But I think everybody that lives like that has somewhere inside of them they have a hole that they wish they were somebody else.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not built to come home and kiss the wife and kids. That's not what they're.
That's true, too. But I'm going to tell you what, there's some dumbass women out there. That's how you get some dumb. I just listened to a podcast on Charles Manson. Whew.
Yeah,
my stupid. God, some dumbass people in the world. My gosh. And, boy, they sold a line of goods on that deal. I'm going to tell you what, the Beach Boys were very lucky on that Charles Manson deal that he didn't kill O'Brien Wilson.
He was going after one of them, wasn't he? Isn't that why he ended up at Polanski's house?
He'd been to that house before at a party with somebody. And it just was a fucked up deal. They done the killing. They tried to cover up there was a guy that they were friends with. There was a drug dealer, and there was a black guy that was a Big Blackie or something was his name. He was a big guy. He sold dope. And Charles Manson, that guy shot that guy over a bad drug deal. And so they did a murder, and they wrote Piggy on the walls trying to cover up for him, because that's what that guy did. And to try to cover, to make it look like, oh, he couldn't have done that murder. He was in jail.
Right.
So he's being falsely held. But Charles Manson, man, he was a weird cat, but he'd use those girls to get in. That's how they met Brian Wilson. Brian Wilson picked up 2 of the chicks from him and took him back to some party at his house, and then Brian Wilson was gone and came back, and then all the fucking Charles Manson and all those fucking acid drop people are there. It's just crazy how people can mind control people, and then he was giving them LSD and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just a fucked up world. But man, the shit they done, and as gruesome as those murders were.
His doctor was his doctor was the guy that made Jack Ruby go insane. Same one.
He
from
treated
MK Ultra.
He treated Charles Manson after Charles Manson was already done all that shit, not before.
No, Jeff. He had gotten out on parole. He had to go see this court appointed shrink, and it was this guy, and he would do mind control, and he would give him acid. Charles Manson was a government agent, Jeff.
He was not a government agent.
Everybody knows it.
No, they don't. Charles Manson was a hippie thug that was always looking for a free ride, and he found out he could dictate these women to do stupid shit and sell themselves. He controlled them by sex and by money, and he did get that from listening to some fucking doctor guy, and I can't remember the name of the guy's name, but the guy, Dean Koontz or somebody that wrote books. I think Dean Koontz is the guy that, maybe it was Dean Koontz. Who's the guy that wrote, it's not the guy that wrote the fucking shit where they steal the art and crap with Bubba Gump or whatever his name was.
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Dan Brown. That's Dan Brown that
right.
wrote that book. I think it's Dean. It was whoever was the big guy that wrote the books. And there might be, it might be saying right here in this deal, author Tom O'Neill. No, what book the fuck would I just listened to the deal. Well, Sharon Tate was a good-looking sumbitch, too.
Charles Manson and his murderous cult made their mark on American pop culture, even inspiring decades after the cult gained notoriety. However, new evidence emerged suggesting that a secret CIA program to research the effects of psychedelic drugs may have contributed to the Manson's rise to infamy. So, yes.
No, it doesn't say that. It says may have.
That means
this
it does.
is why you did not get picked for that jury the other
That
day.
means it does, Jeff.
No, it doesn't.
They're having to cover their bases so that they don't get sued.
Andy.
Manson was a part of a secret CIA program. They wanted to see what LSD would do to the general population. They would dope up these John Does, and they'd bring them to a brothel, and there would be a two-way mirror. Hold on.
Screen that down,
and
though,
there
so
would
I can
be
read while you're talking.
And there would be law enforcement agents on the other side. We've got to read all of that because that's very important stuff.
There's nothing on there that says anything to do with what you're preaching about right now, so keep doing it. I'm going to listen to you at the same time. I can read. She was good looking, some bitch.
I don't think so.
Did you not see her in that show? She was beautiful blonde.
That's Margot Robbie.
Yeah, but she was playing her. Margot Robbie's hot, too.
So anyway, they dope these guys up with LSD. There'd be a two-way mirror. There we go. Manson's parole officer, Roger Smith, was a part of a federally funded program researching LSD and drug use among San Francisco's population.
I'm not disagreeing with you on any of that.
So that is how he got out, because they kept letting him go. He would dope up these people. They could research them, and that's what happened.
No,
Manson remained free, even though he fucking was a parole violator. They should have arrested him way before he ever murdered those people for parole violation. But they didn't, because he was a CIA operative.
I don't think he was a CIA operative. He might have been in a case study on something, but he wasn't an operative. He wasn't calling back to headquarters.
I bet he was.
This is Manson 604.
This is Manson. I've got a couple more. They're doped up, ready to commit murder for me.
So the CIA knew he was going to murder these people.
I think that they knew he was going to do something terrible. I don't think he knew it was going to be.
They had lost. They didn't even know where he
was
at.
They knew where he was.
No, they didn't.
In exchange for federal funding, courtesy of the CIA, the pair researched recreational drugs among patients.
Yeah, those people were in on it, not Manson.
Soon enough, the clinic's doctors and clinicians began to recognize the frequent presence of young runaways and addicts who belonged to the Manson's cult, because they would have to go to this place. This is all coming back to me now. Tom O'Neill on Joe Rogan. They would have to go to this pharmacy to get their abortions and shit. And they would see all these people on a regular basis. Yes. Haight-Ashbury, free medical clinic. That's where they were getting their drugs from. I feel like Alex Jones right now. Jeff? And you're on your phone.
I'm looking at
Free
email.
The Haight-Ashbury Clinic, a fake hippie crash pad, a ploy to study drug addictions and the homeless.
I'm not disagreeing with you on
Jolly
any
West. Is
bit
that
of
who you were talking about?
No. No.
You have no idea. Sidney Gottlieb?
No.
Is that who you were talking about?
No. It's a damn a writer. It was someone who wrote books, and I cannot remember the name of the damn author, and it's right here on my tongue. And the guy wrote a book about how to make people do things for you, like to be a salesman, to be an aggressive salesman. It was a self-help.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
No.
Tim Robbins.
Bingo. Tim Robbins.
Fucking Tim Robbins didn't even come around to the 80s or 90s. He wasn't around in the 1960s.
Look it up and see. Look it up and see.
I will see whenever I'm done fucking dismantling you on this.
We'll keep going down then. I'm gonna look it up. It's whoever gave motivational speaker. That's who he got all his stuff from.
Bullshit.
Okay.
Politics surrounding hypothetical retrial. But anyway, this fella that Manson got his drugs from, I think it was Sidney Gottlieb, made Jack Ruby lose his mind. He couldn't testify. It's all there in black and white, Jeff. It's all there in black and white. You're just too naive to see it.
Mm-hmm. You know, he also says that the Beatles made him do all that shit too, because the White Album. He had convinced these followers
through LSD
and
MK Ultra
that the black people were going to kill all the white people.
He was trying to incite a race war?
Yeah, he just was using it as a cover for these. He was just a goofy fucker. But I'm telling you, his motivational.
Tim Robbins is the only one I can think of. After he shot, I'm trying to find it here. Who made Jack Ruby lose his mind?
Now they say it's Warren Buffett wrote a book. I can't. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the damn thing so I can keep up with it.
Some researchers in the JFK assassination community are aware of the fact that one of the doctors that treated Jack Ruby was none other than Louis Jolyon West, a figure equally infamous for allegedly killing an elephant with LSD and for his work in MK Ultra, the CIA's famous interrogation, hypnosis, and control program. An analysis of available documents from the CIA declassified archives and the recovered MK Ultra files show that
Dale Carnegie.
Not only did West want to continue his work with the agency, so yes,
this
West guy went and talked to Jack Ruby.
Okay,
he erased his mind.
Yes, in 1957, when Manson was out of jail for some deal, he had to sign up for a course at the prison, and Dale Carnegie had How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and he used that model his whole time. And that's where he first started doing that stuff. It was Dale Carnegie's book. And that's where he did. He learned that you could make friends and you had to convince them of sex or some other shit. And that's what he did. And that was his basis for his whole deal. And yes, LSD and so he's a sick fucker. A sick fucker.
So let me ask you this. Have you seen the new declassified documents?
On who?
UFOs?
No, I have not.
Oh. They're basically telling us that they're real.
I told you a story from a guy that I'm friends with that's in one of the alphabets, the big alphabet.
Right.
That told me in 1988 on a camping trip some true stories about this shit.
Was he the guy then?
Was he what?
Was he like the big dick when you were on this camping trip?
He worked for them.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yes, he told me that, and it might have been, when was Clinton in office?
90s. 92.
92, so it would have been 92 or 93. So that's been when it was. Clinton had declassified some documents.
Right.
and it was all about UFO stuff. But they wouldn't release them, so you had to have a top secret clearance to listen to them or read these things. Well, this guy worked at a place, and I'm not going to say the name where he worked at. But anyways, he worked at a think factory or a think tank or whatever they call that shit and did stuff. But anyways, he told me that he read some documents that had been released. He said, I wish I had never read them because it scared the shit out of me. He told me his exact words, and people are going to laugh their ass off this. He said, those people you see on the back of milk cartons, he said, a lot of them ain't missing. They've been abducted. Well, they are missing, but he said they ain't been fucking taken by somebody. They've been taken by something.
So, according to these documents released by the Pentagon, 1,500 pages of UFO, I've not read any of it, but I have seen the headlines. They're saying that people got pregnant. Ladies got pregnant after they were abducted. They've got burns all over them whenever they come back.
So that's where Michelle Obama comes from.
They were probed. Jeff. But the Pentagon is telling everybody this. These are Pentagon documents.
Oh, this doesn't surprise me.
This doesn't surprise you?
No, the guy that told me this years ago is someone I trust and know. He's a smart guy. He's not a bullshitter about stuff.
It doesn't scare you at all?
He said it scared the shit out of him. No, I've just accepted it's what it's been like.
Well, Jeff, what if they come get us?
Well, then they do. What do you gonna live your life in fear?
Well, I just want to know.
There ain't nothing you can do to stop them.
You don't think so?
No.
So you think that if they wanted to take us over,
there's a reason they don't. I don't know what it is.
That's who I was looking for.
Bob Lazar?
No.
Oh, he's a fucking pretty credible dude too.
Jeremy Corbell was who I was looking for. I couldn't remember his name.
If they wanted to run us, they would. There's a reason they don't want to. I think from the dawn of time that the controlling people that were controlling, whether it was the Egyptians, Hitler, America, whoever, has had some kind of deal made with these people.
You think so?
I believe so.
I'll look at his Instagram.
I mean, why would we be the only people in this whole universe or only thing in this whole universe?
We wouldn't be.
So, I mean, I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus. I believe he died for my sins. I believe all that. And I don't think anywhere in the Bible it says there's no UFOs.
How long is this? A couple minutes? Oh, come on. Secret documents revealed. But anyway, this guy, Jeremy Corbell, I don't know why all of a sudden it wouldn't be playing. But you're okay with that fact? That aliens are...
I'm not surprised by this.
Not at all?
If anybody listening to this, if you want to look up something really interesting on a conspiracy theory, look up the Denver International Airport.
Whatever reason, we just lost sound.
Have you ever heard about it?
Yeah.
They supposedly spent all this money. The Denver City Council voted against it, but the federal government made them build this new airport. They had Stapleton Airport, which was a good airport closer to downtown. They made them build this big monstrosities airport, and they think it's portals to shit. I don't know, but there's some really weird shit in there. There's some really weird art in there, and there's a lot of weird stories about it. But the research Denver International Airport conspiracy theories, and then read it. Who knows if it's real or false? I don't know.
Release an explosive report about UFOs under Freedom of Information laws. Now, the new documents lift the lid on a secretive intelligence program which was run by the United States Defense Force and employed more than 50 agents.
50. The UFO hunters researched health impacts on humans who reported paranormal experiences. And the findings are downright spooky. Investigative filmmaker Jeremy Corbell joins us live from LA to make sense of it all. Jeremy, great to see you again. Now, this new report says UFO sightings left witnesses with burns, nausea, and nerve damage. What do you make of the claims?
And pregnant, some of them.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible. So first of all, everybody's got this wrong. The New York Times even reported it improperly. The secret UFO study was called AWSAP, Advanced Aerospace Weapon System Applications Program. It received the $22 million, not ATIP. Now, they generated over 200 reports, but 38 of these reports were technical documents, and one of those documents really stands out. And that document talks about the biological effects of human beings who come into close proximity with a UFO. And there's a lot of negative health effects that have now been revealed by this secret government UFO program, the biggest program of all time. This includes radiation burns. It includes, on a cellular level, people being harmed, as well as cognitive damage to people. So it's very haunting.
Okay, so do we have to assume then that
it's no technological nation that we know. These machines are so far advanced gravitational propulsion system. So there's.
It's scary stuff.
Have you ever watched Fire in the Sky?
Yes,
That's a very good show. Scary as fuck.
Do you think that they have like let a little bit out of the bag to make the blow a little bit easier to absorb instead of just like 15 years ago?
Well, it's because of Christianity.
Like, bam!
That's why.
Aliens are real. Do with it what you want. Do you think that they've like leaked this information slowly to kind of get us accustomed to this? Like, because in my mind, obviously, 100% is a large number. But I'm more certain that aliens are probably real than I am not certain that they're real.
Oh, I believe that they're
like
real.
I'm like into the, I can't say 100% because I've never seen one. I've never touched one. I've never had an experience where I've seen stuff that I couldn't account for, but I've never seen an alien, so I can't be 100%. But I can be 75.
I told you I think they're real.
You're more than 75 or less than 75?
Oh, I'm 99.9% sure there's something there.
That's a big number, Jeff.
That's
irrational.
I've seen some weird stuff.
Well, so have I. Everybody has.
That's right. It's unexplainable.
Right.
There's too many different things. I mean, the government, they showed the F-15s, the F-18s, and had the fucking aliens zoom by them and shit.
Yeah.
And, they're telling you,
But
you don't have to.
Or do you think that technology, like all the fighter jets now have these cameras and stuff on them? Do you think that 50 years ago that technology wasn't there, so it was just kind of a kooky pilot and what he says, but now all of a sudden there's cameras on everything, we've got radars, and do you think the technology has advanced to where they're comfortable with telling us?
What
I don't get the shift.
This is what's really weird about it to me. Everybody's got a phone that's got a camera and a video on it.
Right.
You don't see hardly any new footage of videos of UFOs and shit no more.
Maybe they know that. Maybe they don't want to get caught.
And that could be. I mean,
maybe like these little fucking earthlings have figured us out.
I've seen some weird shit, boy, at nighttime. Out in the middle of nowhere, you see a light somewhere, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And things don't make sense. But I believe my friend a long time ago.
And in the 80s. So you've been holding on to this information for 40 years.
In the early 90s, 30 years.
30 years.
I've known about it for 30 years. And no, I believed it then. And we talked about that shit. There's some, I mean, anybody that's I mean, why is Area 51 on lockdown?
Well, Jeff, I mean, aren't all air bases on lockdown?
Not like that is. Where they won't even let you go, You can go to any you can go to any Air Force base in America and you can sit on the fence line with cameras and binoculars or whatever, and they're not going to run you off. But they do there for some reason.
Well, Bob Lazar told us why.
Exactly.
But do you believe Bob Lazar?
I don't know why Bob Lazar would lie about it. I don't understand to make people think you're fucking crazy. What do you gain off that?
If you were the president, that if I ever get to speak to a president, I'm going to ask him about that first day when you get this wave of information. This is what's happened. We know this, and this. That's got to be a helpless feeling.
So your first day in the office, you're going to say, hey, I wonder what's in Area 51?
No. That's what I'm saying. You don't think like their first day, okay, here's all the shit that we couldn't tell you when you were just candidate.
Do you think the government? Do you think the president really knows everything? I don't.
You don't think? You think they keep shit from him?
I think that's why Trump lost the last election. There's a power entity in Washington D.C. and the president's a figurehead. He comes out and handles the shit that they want you to handle. But the inner workings of the government and all the bullshit that they do, like all the crap going on in Ukraine and crap, like they spent $22 million on these UFO study. Well, fuck, that's not a day's worth of money we're giving Ukraine right now.
Right.
Why are we giving Ukraine another $10 billion? Does that not question you at all?
Well, they need it. Well, I mean, maybe that's something the Ministry of Truth can tell us.
Maybe. Well, they're not going to because they're on the same deal. But that inner workings that's doing all this shit, that's who's doing it all. So, yes, I don't think the president knows exactly. I think they let the president know what he needs to know, and that's it. Then you need to know about world peace. You need to know about this, but the inner things going on like that, no.
Do you not think that would be beneficial to a new president?
That there's UFOs?
No. that we're only going to tell you what you need to know?
No, fuck no.
You think he should know everything?
He's the president. He was elected by the people to
You
run the
think
whole
he
thing.
should know absolutely everything?
Yes.
In a big whoosh. Here's everything that's going on. Here's everything that has gone on since the beginning of our country. You're now privy to this information. I don't think so. I think he needs to know a handful of things that are important, and that's what he needs to focus on. I don't think that it would be good for, number one,
So
anybody
you
that
think
anybody that would want that job is a fucking nut job.
So you don't think that it's a power deal? You don't think that whoever's running we're going to use Trump and we're going to use Obama as examples. Okay. Trump is a good businessman.
He is.
And he had us on the right path business-wise. No doubt about it.
Well,
and he
Ministry of Truth might say different.
Well, fuck them. But he did. He was a good president. The economy was rolling. Everything was good. We used common sense.
Okay.
And it worked. Obama, on the other hand, never used common sense.
But why would you bog these people down by information that has nothing to do with getting the country back on track, like UFOs?
You don't think that if we are being controlled and manipulated by from aliens,
is there any evidence? Is there any evidence? If we were, and there was evidence of that, then yes, he would. But
that's
I don't
what
think.
We just said.
I don't think that. No, he said the people that got abducted.
No. You said you don't think he should be bogged down. If this is happening, you don't think he should know about it.
That people are being abducted
and that we've got aliens doing it. You don't think he should know that? I think he does.
No, I'm saying a totality of everything.
That's something that he should know about.
I think that the president should know 5 things. This is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
So you don't think that we're funneling money to Peru, running drugs, the CIA, and they're making billions of dollars on black.
Well, they're the cocaine institute.
You don't
of
think
America.
the president should be privy to that kind of stuff when he's doing any kind of foreign policy?
Does he want to stop it or not? Because if you're Obama, then you want to propagate this and you want to get drugs coming across the border.
That's the whole problem right there. Is that when someone gets to that seat outside of Donald Trump, they've been groomed to be president the whole time.
Right?
They didn't really give 2 fucks if it was John McCain won or Obama. They didn't care if it was Mitt Romney or because they all owned by the same people.
But if you, Jeff Stanfield, if you ran on the same platform that Trump did, America's gonna be first. We're gonna bring jobs back to America.
There won't be another Donald Trump coming in office.
We're gonna fix the economy. We're gonna beef up our military. What good is information about UFOs gonna do for your campaign, for what you ran on? It's only gonna distract you. Or what about if? Hey, we really know the pyramids in Egypt are a portal to the other world. Have fun with this information. It wouldn't do you any good to know that.
But why should someone else know it then?
Or this is who really killed JFK, and this is why they killed JFK. Okay. What good is that going to do you with what you're trying to accomplish?
So who's the powers that should have all that information and use it to their advantage? Why is it okay for them? Because, first of all, Donald Trump wasn't supposed to happen.
No.
That was not supposed to happen. So they was like, fuck it, let him. No, but I'm just saying. So Jeff Stanfield, they're not going to be a Jeff Stanfield or Donald Trump ever run for president and get it again, probably because they're going to cheat because they don't give a shit. If Donald Trump doesn't run a Ron DeSantis, who they want, the governor of fucking Arkansas wants to run for president now. He thinks he's got a fucking shot. Mike Pence. Well, they don't give a shit if Mike Pence wins or if Joe Biden does because they control those guys. But they don't want someone outside of that circle because that guy outside of the circle is going to ask questions they don't like to know about. You know? So that's the problem we have right now. That inner circle is controlling everything. I think the president should be privy about anything that pertains to national defense or the well-being of our country, no matter what it is. I don't think he needs to be bogged down with some third world dictator in Africa that's doing something wrong. That ain't going to affect nothing at all here. But he needs to know about anything. And if there is aliens that are coming back and forth and abducting people that our country, yes, he does need to be involved in that. Just like the girl that's got the Adam's apple from Baylor that's in Russia right now, that's in a prison in Russia. She broke fucking Russian law.
What'd she do?
She had a vape pen that had marijuana in it. Well, that's a law in Russian. That's against the law. You know, these people are like, he needs to go get her out. She broke a fucking law.
Right.
Little shit like that, the president shouldn't have to be worried about. If your dumb ass took fucking CBD vape deal to Russia, then pay the fucking, you got to pay the piper.
How long is she in jail for?
They said it could be up to 10-year sentence. She's been for 6 months, but all the lesbian people are coming out and they're all upset. Well, we're not doing nothing for him. Thing is Obama or Trump probably would have gotten her out because he got out. One of them ball boys got in trouble in China for shoplifting some shoes or some shit, and he got them back here. But not every little thing does the president need to be involved with. But fucking aliens doing shit, yes, he does need to be involved with that, I think.
But I just think that they're obviously, if aliens are coming back and forth and they're taking people and they're doing all this shit,
that's a major problem.
that is a problem. But I don't think that it would do the president any good to just have a wave of unanswered questions hit him at once.
I'm sure that he's got advisors. See, that's the other problem too, and that's what we're dealing with Biden right now. Is the president has advisors that takes care of shit. There is no way he can take care of every problem himself.
No,
he's got
nobody
people.
Can.
He's got cabinet members that take care of stuff, and they take care of all kinds of things, and that's what he needs to know. But that's the problem with Biden is Biden's not making any decisions of his own. Someone else is running all this shit behind.
Is this an old video? Did he call the Pope an African American baseball player?
I fucking have no clue. It wouldn't surprise me.
You haven't seen that video?
No, but I mean, the guy, he's not even there. And everybody knows it. They pump him up on fucking horse tranquilizers and shit before they let him go do anything.
Hold on. Here it is right. Here it is right here. Here you go.
He was the famous African-American baseball player in America.
Huh?
I don't know.
I don't think he knew what he was saying even. Maybe thought he was shaking hands with Jackie Robinson.
He was the famous African-American baseball player in America.
But he shows him something.
Thank you for that. He was the famous African-American baseball player in America.
I think Biden gave him. No, he says you are a famous.
He don't have a clue what's going on. Everybody knows that. It's not even a secret.
And then he muddled something else up about Title 42 and masks. I'm getting. I didn't feel bad for him.
I do.
But now I'm getting to.
He is a.
Here's this one.
He is a victim.
Watch this.
On Title 42, sir, are you considering delaying lifting Title 42?
No, what I'm considering is continuing to hear from well, first of all, there's going to be an appeal by the Justice Department because as a matter of principle, we want to be able to be in a position where if in fact it is strongly concluded by the scientists that we need Title 42,
He's
that
clueless.
we'll be able to do that. But there has been no decision on extending Title 42. Thank you.
I mean, what does that even mean?
He didn't. There wasn't nothing that mean because he didn't know what he's talking about.
And then the ill-gotten gains. That's another good one. For somebody who doesn't watch the fucking news, I sure do know a lot of this shit. Yeah, I feel bad for the guy. And I didn't before, but it's here it is.
Anything can happen up here.
I hate ads. Meanwhile, we've got ads on ours. But
Under this supplemental funding, I'm also sending to Congress a comprehensive package of, that will enhance our underlying effort to accommodate the Russian oligarchs and make sure we take their ill-begotten gains. We're going to accommodate them. We're going to seize their yachts.
What does that even mean?
And other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy.
whoa!
Plutocracy killed him.
God, look at it. Oh. Look like he stepped on his dick.
What a fucking shit show. What a mess. And fuck Obama because he's the one that brung all this shit on.
We're not
Jesus.
attacking Russia. We're helping Ukraine.
That's all part of the plan. We get a guy in there that can't stand up and speak for himself,
That's
so they
awful.
can make him a dumbass, and he don't even know it. He goes back to the room
That's
every day,
awful.
and they give him an injection, put him in bed.
You think he know? Do you think he thinks he's doing a good job?
I don't think he knows who he is. I think he's got dementia and Alzheimer's, and just goes and just they prop him up. I don't know how they're doing it with him. I can't believe, and this is the sad thing about the people that are running him. I can't believe one of his handlers hasn't broke and said, "Listen, and I can't do this no more."
I can't believe his wife. She should have his fucking back.
She don't give a shit about nothing but the power. Also,
I saw her book, 150 copies, is all it sold.
Would you want to read it?
He got 81 million votes. You don't think that there would be...
CNN Plus paid $300 million to have less downloads a day than we did, and they fucking went broke and went out of business.
So. I believe, I want to say, I don't want to get this...
It don't matter if she sold 15,000 books. If you got 81 million votes, you'd figure that 1 million people would want to read. If Ivanka Trump wrote a book,
right,
there would be 1 million books would be sold.
Yeah. Jill Biden's book sells just 250 copies in its first week.
Yeah.
Its first week.
I could write a book and do better than that. That's horrible.
I mean, this guy allegedly got he got 81 million votes.
And his wife can't
and
sell
you're telling me that
books.
she can't sell 25,000 books?
Yeah.
At least crack 1 million.
Yeah, well, all his votes, came from people that are dead. Dead people don't read a lot of books. So.
Well, that's true too. 200. That's embarrassing.
That's terribly embarrassing. Can you imagine the company that
I thought they had $1 million.
Gave her $5 or $10 million bonus.
They're probably the same one that had Obama's book and his wife's book, and we got a winner here.
Fucking Obama's
250 fucking.
Obama's book was on sale on the bargain bin in Harvard when we were there at the bookstore.
Yeah.
If people ain't buying that book with all them liberal fuckers, then ain't nothing gonna happen. All right, I got to get out of here.
I just feel bad because when you marry somebody, you expect them to have your back through thick and thin, and she
did when there was money was there, but now that he's a propped up deal, she's known about the whole plan the whole fucking time. Every one of them's in on the shit, the whole deal. And I think, to be honest with you,
I don't know that.
I think Hunter is not into all that shit. I really do.
You think
Hunter? I think Hunter was his fucking dad wouldn't have ran for president, to be honest with you.
Happy smoking a crack pipe
and sleeping with whores. I think he was happy. I think him and Dan Bilzerian probably pretty good buddies.
I don't think Dan Bilzerian's a crackhead.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the lifestyle Dan Bilzerian wants to live.
Just
that's what he'd like to live, that life.
10% for the big man.
Yep. I mean, you did say that Dan Bilzerian was a steroid and a cocaine hat. So
he admits to taking steroids.
And coke? Or did you just loosely use that, Andy?
Hold on, and I'll find it.
No, I don't need to find it. I got to get out of here.
Hold on. Let me double check.
Has Dan Bilzerian done coke?
Yes. Here it is. Dan Bilzerian reveals he had 2 heart attacks after a 4-day sesh. Dan Bilzerian, where is it at? A lot of Viagra. Okay, speaking with Graham Bensinger, he spoke of how the use of excessive use of cocaine and Viagra, as well as binge drinking over 4 days, resulted in 2 heart attacks. So,
when he was only 25, why is he having to take Viagra at 25?
Well, I've never done cocaine, but maybe they counteract one another. He claims that he took 6 times the recommended dose of Viagra and a lot of cocaine, weed, and drank for 4 days straight with about an hour's sleep. This led to a pain in his shoulder, which he shrugged off and decided to do push-ups to relieve the pain. When that didn't work, he started getting shortness of breath.
I guess I'm doing something wrong because I think all that sex would make you want to take a nap. Wouldn't you think so?
He likes his cocaine and,
Oh, and his doctor was the same fucker that fucking put Michael Jackson to sleep.
Conrad Murray?
Yeah. Well, fuck, no wonder.
Yeah, so,
Oh, well.
Anyway. But, listen, cocaine is not crack. Crack is, I guess it's way worse.
Yeah, it's a byproduct of cocaine.
Well, it's way worse.
It is. It's more addicting, and you can do it for $6 on the side of the road somewhere.
Cocaine, that's a white collar drug.
It's a high dollar drug.
All right.
You can't say white collar no more.
You can't?
No,
it's illegal?
Yeah, you can't. That's not a good word. That's racist.
White collar?
Oh yeah, it's coming. You wait.
I thought it was just
wait.
Your line of work. Blue collar, you were.
Whoa, we can't define things by color anymore.
I thought blue collar, you were a laborer, and white collar, you had an office job.
Yeah, one's a pointer and one's a worker.
Yeah.
All right. God bless y'all. Have a great day. I can't believe I said God bless after all the things we've talked about today. Check out Andy's shirt if you look at YouTube. Got them for sale.
Yes.
Big Honker podcast shirt, brand new design. Will be on PayPal, goose@westtexas.net. $30
Shopify
shipping.
Shopify
will be set up within 2 weeks. I'm gonna work on that while I'm gone this week working. All right.
There you go.
God bless y'all. Have a great day.
Check out all of our wonderful sponsors. Go check out Dive Bomb Industries. Listen, hunting season is getting close, and it does not hurt to add 10, 15 dozen more dive bombs to your spread. Boss Shot Shells, Pacific Calls, Alpha Outdoors, Shin Gear Waders, Dirty Duck Coffee, Lucky Duck, Gundog Outdoors, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcasts, Bangtail Whiskey, Stanfield Andy Outfitters.